Hey, good morning to you. DIY life, 4 a.m. Ryan here. And we're on actually the sixth Friday of 2023. And I felt led at this point right now to, this is an interesting one. So, the list that I started with, in summary, the whole idea of DIY life, 4 a.m. is it's kind of a secret amongst entrepreneurs or people that are just heavy hitters, might want to say, or you can use a lot of things. But the 4 a.m. secret is about waking up, forcing yourself to get to the gym. A lot of people do to get to writing. There's lots of things. Why 4 a.m. Right? Well, it's mainly is that I use the term spirit, soul, and body. And throughout these types of motivational talks, it's about saying, hey, I have to force myself to do this because my body doesn't want to. And that has become kind of the term that people use about the 4 a.m. secret. Because 5 a.m. was like, hey, the military, and those that woke up at 4, wow, you were really dedicated. And so this is how it came about. And so this whole thing was about saying, hey, how do I turn a resolution into a goal? Because resolutions are just resolutions to whatever you were trying to do. It's something you write down. But a goal is something that you're striving for. You're making a list and trying to attain it. Sometimes resolutions just become like these things that are like vapor, they go away. But a goal, that's why there's two parts to that. And then finally, through that goal, it's accomplished. I want to lose 20 pounds. And then at the end of between whatever your weight was down to now you lost 20, now you've accomplished. I like to use the term summit. So to start all this out again, RESO to goal to the summit. Now you've accomplished it. Okay, so let's say in January 1, you wrote, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and you're there. 6 week. Hey, awesome. High five. And now you can start over and write another one. But then there's a whole another group that haven't even, they're halfway through this. They've already quit. They tapped out. That reso list is long gone. It's been 6 weeks. So the title of this week is Reset. Start over. Because, I sometimes, usually it's about the eighth week for me. Like, okay, it's been 2 months. It's March 1st, and how am I really doing at some of my stuff? And I'll really look because I'm at that point now where I try to have 5 a year, and I don't want to go too much past that because it's not really realistic, to try to get 5 in a year. And some of mine are just really big, like doing something last year. Mount Whitney was one of them, and so I hadn't climbed Mount Whitney in a while, and it takes a lot of groundwork to get to that spot, especially at 50 years old. And so one of those goals took 10 hikes, like good hikes, up to 14, 16 milers. So it's not an easy thing when you're running a couple businesses and training dogs and all that type of stuff. So that's what I'm trying to say is about the eighth week, I like to do a reset. This year, or in this particular, I'll spend some time thinking about it. And I think, I use the term everything is 5 times as hard, 5 times as long, and 5 times as much. I started using that term last year because my wife and I would talk about, how's that project coming? And it was delayed, 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 delayed. And it was frustrating. And so I just started saying that. I'm like, hey, everything is 5 times as long, 5 times as much. And it's just going to be the reality. And it was so tough for me because, man, I have this thing where it's like, man, why? But it's reality. So there's more of an urgency to come in, get a pulse, and say, it's okay. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is a righteous man falls 7 times. But what? He gets back up. See? It's not about falling. It's not about making mistakes. It never is. It is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to get back up, dust yourself off, stop complaining, and get into the solution of what you're trying to accomplish? That's reality. That's life. It boils down to that. Are you going to quit? Are you going to get up and force your spirit? That's right. To get on with your bad self. That's reality in life right now. And it's the most difficult time on the planet. It is. We're in America, and we're relatively still in a very spoiled state. Not for everybody. Those that are in California and New York, at least the blue collars, you're in a different category because the cost of living is just astronomical. So life has been 2 jobs, 3 jobs. So it's not necessarily reality. It's tough out there. But relatively to the world, oh man, we're pretty spoiled. So we do have to take these things into account. And that's why I wanted to do this Friday to say, hey, it's okay, man. Fall, get back up. It's good to go, okay, where am I at? Last week was self-examining. A lot of people have no idea about that. Self-examining is tough if you've never really done it. And my whole situation with self-examining brought a book about. It really did. It's called His Daughter. But it's about being able to step outside yourself consistently and really examine your motives, your tone, your language, how you do things. And that's not an easy thing to do. It's not normal. But in the other side of that is that you really are like interviewing yourself. There's a documentary on you all the time. Cameras on all the time. So this is where I say, as what you're trying to do this year, and I'm speaking to anyone that's listening that's just trying to do one resolution to one goal, to accomplishing that summit on that one goal. And so it's good to reset. It's okay, man. Start over. So if you've put it aside, pick it back up. Because what you don't want to do is just be in that same group where you go back to life as usual and you go through your whole year and you start this stupid process again where, I'm going to do resolutions, blah, 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 and you just never accomplish these things. So are you going to be in that group? Are you? Right? Or are you going to be in the group where, you accomplished that goal and then you've moved on to another one. And at the end of the year, you started with 1 and you have 3 or 4 or 5, and then at the end of the year, you sit back and that last week, and if you want to have a cocktail or if you want to, sit back and reminisce about what was accomplished this year, you can look at those lists and talk about them, right? At the family meal, at Christmas time, or whatever, Thanksgiving. And you're thankful. See? You're thankful, and you start talking about it. And that conversation is not normal. Because most time people talk about politics and sports and crap. But life, what'd you do this year? Oh man, I did this, and then I did that. And so, over the course of 10 months, you got some things to talk about, right? And like this year, we're going to go to rim to rim. I have a hiking group, 4 guys. That's the group that we did Whitney with, and now we're going to do rim to rim. And every year we've purposed to do something big. We're open 2024 or 2025. We do Aconcagua. 22,800 feet. It's a group that's dedicated to keep each other accountable and to strive to those goals where you didn't think you could do something. And so, I want to at Thanksgiving, at Christmas time, I want to talk about those things, because that's beautiful things. Like, there's tons of stuff on my ranch that I do, and those are all part of my goals. The ranch is one of them, but there's going to be 20 or 30 major projects this year. And there's things to talk about. There's things to hang your hat on. And there's things to go, man, I did that, right? So, okay, this week, it's all right. Righteous man falls 7 times. He put that in there for a reason. Because we're going to sin, we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to blow it. But hey, what are you going to do about it? Right? You're going to sulk? You're going to complain? It's not going to get you anywhere, man. So it's all right. Get back to that journal. Get back to taking a real good look. Once again, punch list. Start over and look at that journal. What's that punch list say? Where are you at with it? And we did week 2. Never miss a rep, right? And that's okay. It's a slogan to try to encourage you. It's all right. Accountability group. That's why you have a gym partner. So if your gym partner left you, go find another one. Go start walking, right? Let's just use the gym for an example. And so now you have that membership. Do something on the outside of the gym, right? Go walk on the beach. If you don't have a beach, go walk by a lake or a mountain. Go do a trail. And do something different than the gym. Because this cross training, there's a reason why it's there. You start doing something outside of it, then now the gym becomes purposed for that. That's the accountability group we gave for one person. Now call someone, avoid the text. The reason why I put that in there is I can't stand, the fact that people don't pick up the phone and call. Why? Because there's a connection in that. Texting is just words that don't have that connection. When you call someone and talk to them, now my spirit, my soul is talking to you. Now some work can get done. And then self-examining. Okay, you got there. If you haven't done it, try it again. It's all right to fall and fail. But it's you now looking at you. It's a beautiful thing. Because now you can really say, I didn't like that part. I want to get better at that. And then now, that was this week. It's okay. So every 6 weeks, we hit the reset button. And hopefully we get better at it. So here's Brian, DIY, and 4D is the channel. DIY Live 4 a.m., episode 6. Get back out there. God bless. Peace.